So welcome back to our Python lectures. We just upgraded our Python version. Should have 3.10.6 or 3.7, maybe maybe a little bit older. Not really a big deal. 3.9 also will work just as long as you have. Remember, you have Python version here. On Python pip version also works from command line, right? And 3.7 matches whatever you're using here. Again, you can do Ctrl-Shift-P. And you'll have Python select interpreter, and you can choose which interpreter you use. But we'll stick to the one to matching the latest one. Again, of course, by the time this video is going to be, might have a later version, maybe 3.11, maybe 3.12, maybe eventually we'll move to version 4, right? Again, the same instructions will apply. Okay, now, so until now, we've been using standard library. We've been creating our own packages and modules, but Python is extremely rich. Again, batteries included environment, right? So called, and meaning these are libraries. So libraries are what somebody else. So libraries written by other people that you can use in your project, right? So thank you again, my co-pilot, for completing my sentences, right? My second brain. So again, and pip is the major one. There's other ones including conda, but again today we will not talk about conda, we'll talk about pip, which is the most universal one, right? And so we would like to install some extra packages to do some extra functionality. Again, so don't reinvent. So idea, do not reinvent the wheel. Use it. Yeah. So again, of course, AI is kind of repeating itself, right? Idea. So now, so pip lets us install packages. So this is, where does pip live? Again, so if we look over Python, it should live here. Scripts, it's here. That's why we had to include it, right? That's why we had to include it. The scripts file, the scripts subfolder. This is not enough. You need to also include the scripts folder. I had students who had problems. They set up the system environment, but they forgot to include the scripts, right, in your system environment files. Again, so we are going back to, again, I'll show you system environment, right? You need to check, right, edit environment, right here, pass, right, and check that there's pass here. So by the way, these I can delete now, right? I don't need these. They are just because I'll never get to it, because whenever you search for Python, it will pick up this first, and these are not needed, so I'll delete these, and this also I can delete, but you won't have to delete it. So you have something like this, right? Again, the name, of course, will be your username, something similar. Okay, right. So now, we know what module is, right? It's just basically a file. A package, of course, includes more files, everything that you need for a module. So we'll use pip to install it. But question is, where do you find packages? Of course, I could tell you, you can do a Google search, but the official repository is so-called PyPi. PyPi, right? And let's see, where is it? It's here, right? And by now, you have 400,404, right? 100,000 projects, right? This means there are actually 400,000 different libraries you can import, which is great, of course, but that's a little bit too much, right? Well, the good news is that actually about, I'd say, 90% are probably student projects, extra things, maybe some very, very tiny, not needed, maybe some just duplicates and things and so on. But maybe about 10 to 20,000 are actually useful, right? So, but this is the main repository. Again, programming languages, modern programming languages usually have some tool like this where you have these extra libraries. Otherwise, no human being is an island, right? No man is an island. So you need the extra help. Otherwise, you spend the time reinventing the wheel, right? So you can search, of course, for any subject. So you should actually pay, before you install a package you read about on a Google or something, you should search it here first. Double check, unless it's a very well-known package. There are no, sometimes, rarely you hear of some people, because you could, even yourself, you can make a package which sounds similar to a popular package, but maybe you put some, I don't know, evil things in there, and somebody innocent downloads this package and they will, I don't know, they mine cryptocurrency or something like that, or steal passwords, things like that. So you should check, right? You should check here before you install a package, unless you are really 100% sure about the package. Okay, so there's a camel case recommended by my co-pilot assistant. It's not a library I would use. It's probably something very small. So let's check. So camel case, yeah, camel case, convert string to camel case, and it's actually very old. I mean, not old, but right, there's actually 300 projects, right? There's many of them, so it's probably against very popular student project, right? So let's take a look at this. So convert string to camel case with the ability to include words to skip over. So here's very simple. You see some examples how to use it, right? Import camel case, and this will basically gives you camel casing, right? Basically, right? Question is, it's slightly very similar. It's very similar actually to we've been using capital, not uppercase, but capitalized or title I think, right? But except notice difference, it's using these small words. It skips those. So not very useful library. Again, especially it's in English. You know, if you're doing it Latvian or Lithuanian, you probably won't have much use for it. But let's try it, right? So we can check the homepage, of course. It looks like some guy just made it actually, right? Release history, right? Only 2 versions, right? You can check the files, right? So not very, I wouldn't say very high. I would, you know, it looks very innocent enough, right? Actually, right? It won't be able to do anything nasty, right? But maybe there's other ones as well, right? So camel case, not really. I would not use it, something like this. Maybe some other library. What would be some small color? So maybe like color. Pretty print maybe. Color print maybe. We'll do this, right? So notice how it says 02. So 02 means it probably was just like somebody's weekend project, looks like. Again, there's no need to install it, right? Let's do color case, maybe color print. Let's do that. Not here. I'm in Python here. Search color print. Let's do that. Print color. There was a util sim print. Again, lots of printing actually. Again, finding a good printer might be. I guess we'll stick with camel case. I don't want to do anything. There's 10,000 projects who have a color print actually. So maybe pretty print. Let's do that. Pretty print, something similar. Or maybe I will do something pretty printer, right? Also again, relevance, most trending. You can check again. It's a little bit of work sometimes choosing. It's like being in a shopping mall trying to figure out which ones you want. I guess I'll ask for suggestions. So other packages, right? Yeah. So example of simple package. Well, I don't know, something else. Pretty print. PyPi print. Okay, PyPi print. Actually, I think that's the one I think I've had in mind. And PyPi print, and I want actually relevance. PyPi print 36, right? And I think this is it. Actually, this I think might be it. Right, preprint. Actually, not something probably alternate again. Not very widely used. We can check by date. Late last update again 4 hours ago. Again. Probably not what we want. Relevance, right? So let's look at this one. Yeah. This is older one, right? So we can go to PyPrint. Yeah, this is actually a version for older versions of preprint. Again, not something I would really need, right? So, let's take a look here. Python print, yeah. This is actually, I think, this actually isn't standard library. So data pre-printed, so actually we don't need it actually. Okay, so we don't know point of actually importing it. So we want probably some simpler package. Let's see. I guess I'll do TQDM. Okay, that's actually a nice package, something useful, right? Or maybe, yeah, let's do something like that, something simple. Well, I guess we're gonna do the camel case. It's a really simple example, actually, I guess. Let's try it. So let's try this, right? So if I do it right now, right, notice I don't have camel case, right? All right, I don't have camel case, so it's not a very popular package. So camel case, right? So it's not a result. So I'll run it, right? And nothing happens. Module not found error. No module named camel case. So how do I resolve it? Like we said, I would do pip install camel case, right? Right. So the thing is, okay. So this will install it globally in your computer for your Python basically. So it will be available for all projects. You'll see this is not ideal, but a good start. So pip install camel case. Let's see what happens. 0.2 automatically. Again, of course, in 7 years, this package, well, unlikely to have anything bad. Like there's some security audits and so on. But of course, again, it's not really needed. But let's run it now. So we imported it, installed it, right? Set is installed, and let's run it. Hello world, right? So hello world. This is a test, right? Let's see what happens now. Will it work properly now in English, right? So I think it should skip these two, right? Let's see. Yeah, indeed it works. So is and a are not capitalized. Yeah. So these are not. So that's again, if you have a need for this in English, you can use this library. I would probably but not use it. So let's see if you say okay, I don't need this library, right? So I did pip install, right? So I can also remove it, right? Again, I'll do camel case, right? So pip, notice how if I check the project, right? I see, right? Pip install camel case, right? So I should be also be able to do pip remove, right? Pip remove camel case. I think so. Pip delete, was it again? So no, it's rare that I would delete it actually. Remove package basically is not something I would usually do. Uninstall, of course, uninstall, not remove, uninstall camel case, right? And should remove it, right? And would remove, okay. It tells okay, it's actually something I rarely do. All right, so it now, of course, let's run it again. Yeah, no module found camel case. Okay, so and again, so after to remove a package, use uninstall. Yeah, uninstall. I should have trusted my AI assistant. Uninstall, not remove. Okay, so uninstall camel case. Okay, so that's great. How about this? So next, let's learn how to see currently list. Use the list command. So pip list. So again, pip is Python package manager, right? What does actually stand for? Let's see, package. Well, it's package manager, right? Package Python integrated packages or something like that. So what does pip stand for? We can add a question to our AI. What does pip stand for? Pip installs packages. Yeah, programmers like do these jokes, right? Again, yeah, but again, it's a silly again jokes, right? Acronyms, right? A recursive acronym. Pip installs packages, of course. So it goes back. Pip installs Python, right? Okay. So now, pip list, that's much more useful, right? So pip list will actually not pip. You see, maybe you meant a list. Pip list. I mistyped, right? So this shows me all the packages already installed globally on my computer for this Python, right? So pip list, I have lots of things actually here, not too much, but enough already, right? So again, so this situation with packages, again, globally, right? If you're only working, you have a computer for a single project, right? It would not be a problem, right? Notice how this pip list mentions these versions. And the question is, why do we need package manager, right? So why do we? Right. So why do we need a package manager? Right. That's a good one. Also, right, the dependency. Right. So PyParsing, actually, it said PyParsing, right? So again, I'm not 100% sure if this is PyParsing actually is indeed that's needed, but that's the idea. So that's the core idea why you need this pip install, why you need the package manager in a modern software development. Why? Because you don't want to worry about if you install some external library, maybe it needs 3 other things, and those 3 other things need 5 more things, for more libraries, and maybe those need 10 more, right? You have this whole tree of dependencies, and you don't want to do this by hand. It would be horrible. I've done this in the 90s for some different programming languages, not something you want to repeat again. So package manager, in a 99% of time, it will solve this issue for you, automatically pooling, installing packages which are needed by the package you are actually trying to install. So it's pretty painless process, and again, you can get pretty far with just using pip install. However, it is not ideal, and our next subject will be looking at using virtual environments to separate our concerns for these packages. Alright, thank you, and we will continue.